Hello and welcome to the Coming of Cage podcast, your Nicolas Cage movie review podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Derek, and your other host, Ryan, is over here with me.
That's right. Over here being, to the right of him on Zoom, not in the same physical presence. But yes, we are here and we are excited to talk about a movie that Nicolas Cage has been in called G-Force for our 93rd episode here.
Yeah, 2009's G-Force. It's a live action movie with animated gerbils.
No, guinea pigs.
Guinea pigs. I keep doing that. I did it last night. So I watched this with my wife and kid, and I kept saying gerbil, and they were like, "Are you doing that on purpose?" I'm
Yeah,
not. I don't know
there
why I
is a
can't.
difference, Derek.
I know, and I'm sorry to all the gerbils and guinea pigs listening to the show, but I can't seem to get it straight. But Nicolas
Well,
Cage plays a mole,
a star-nosed mole, yeah.
which is not on the nose at all. This is directed by Hoyt Yeatman. It is the only movie he has ever directed. He is really known for visual effects, which he has done for some incredibly iconic movies like The Abyss and the remake of The Fly and Armageddon. Also, by the way, Con Air and The Rock.
Yeah, which was also Con Air is another movie that Steve Buscemi worked with him on. Um,
Yeah,
And
there's a lot of
this
that.
was also a Jerry Bruckheimer movie, if I remember right, isn't
That's
it? Which
correct. It
was so was
is.
Con Air.
Yep.
So there's a lot of weird crossover with other actors in this movie.
Well, the cast is so huge. Like, he's in Captain Curly's Mandolin with Penelope Cruz. He was in what shoot, what's the movie with Sam Rockwell that he's in? Do you remember?
Matchstick Men.
Matchstick Men, thank you. Yeah, so like there's a lot of that kind of stuff in this just because there's so many people in the
Okay, while
movie.
we're talking about the cast,
Okay.
just briefly, I want to touch on this. Normally on IMDb, when they list cast members, it seems to, I'm sure there's some algorithm they have, but it seems to be in like the order of, are they main cast,
Hmm.
side cast, whatever. And in this movie, it does not seem to be that way at all. I don't think there's a single one of the G-Force listed on the first page of IMDb except Penelope Cruz.
That's correct. I think this is
Um,
based on billing because it goes Will Arnett, Penelope Cruz, Zach Galifianakis, Bill Nighy. So I think
and
it's
you're
on
saying that Nick
billing.
Cage isn't as high a billing as either of those or
That
any of
that
those
is how
people,
I read it because
or
he
neither is
is
Sam Rockwell, or
neither
like, come on,
or Favreau. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, Favreau's not as big of a name, but Sam Rockwell and Nicolas Cage are bigger names, I would think, than Will Arnett or
Yeah, I
Bill
mean,
Nighy.
but I think it comes down to the contract for the film and like where you are in the billing for it.
It's
That
just
just
weird because normally in a Nick Cage movie, if he's playing a role that I would consider a starring role, I get that he was out of the movie for a good portion of it,
yeah.
but he was a fairly large part of the movie. He would be at the very least in the top 10.
You would think so. It's really weird how this one is organized. I do agree with that. It doesn't make a ton of sense.
You wouldn't even
Um,
know he was in this movie looking at the IMDb because he doesn't even show up in the
well, and
top
even if you
15 or whatever.
well, that's the thing. If you drill down into like the full cast and crew, he's still really far down.
Yeah.
You still have to get through like a couple of people, three people that don't even have pictures,
That's why I assumed, like, when we were looking at this movie last week or a couple weeks ago, that he was going to be a very small role, like, you know, a few lines. But
Hmm.
no, he's got a pretty sizable chunk of the movie.
Well, and he's in it in the very beginning and he's in it at the very end. And, so he's significant to the plot and everything. So it's certainly not like a Fast Times or something like that.
Right.
Um, but let's talk about what is G-Force for those who don't know. A specially trained squad of guinea pigs is dispatched to stop a diabolical billionaire from taking over the world.
And if that raises questions for you, yes, it'll raise questions, and we have a few answers, but I'm going to bring up so many questions that remain unanswered at the end of this movie. And
Um,
Derek hasn't touched on this part yet, but usually the way that I do these, or that we do these, is that I go through and take notes throughout the movie, And we just kind of discuss major plot points, or if there's quotes I find interesting or things that we should discuss, I jot it down, and we use the podcast as a chance to discuss those things.
Yeah. So let's kick it off, man. Where do your notes begin?
Two title screens.
Yeah, one of them was Bruckheimer. Do you remember what the other one was? Was it
Disney, I think.
was it Disney? Okay. Yeah.
Um, yeah. Okay. So right at the beginning, we get Zach Galifianakis talking to a guinea pig,
As you do.
which establishes my next note, which was so in this universe, guinea pigs talk.
Sometimes.
Yes, and that's answered a little bit later to an extent.
To an extent.
Um, okay, so basically at the beginning of this movie, it's the G-Force before they get that name, uh, doing a mission to break in. It starts right into the action, basically. They're breaking into this, rich person's party, and they have to, steal some data or something from a computer.
Right. They're working for the FBI. I think that's important to note.
But then they said that Homeland Security funded them. Did you notice that?
Yeah, but they work for the FBI.
It's unclear how this funding all comes to be, and when this comes to be. But yes, they do work for the FBI. That's 100% true. But why does the Homeland Security fund them? Is Homeland Security part of the FBI?
I mean, I guess in the sense that they're all part of the federal government.
Okay, so no.
I don't really know how the budgeting works for that. I've never looked at that level of it.
Fair enough.
You know, but they're going to Bill Nighy's house, Saber's house. I love Bill Nighy, by the way. Always fun seeing him in something. But yeah, so there's secret agent guinea pigs, and Nicolas Cage plays a mole who's underground, who has cool
Yeah,
goggles so he can see.
he's underground, but we don't really know where he is in relation to everybody else. I mean, he just kind of looks like he's in a cave or something. Like,
Yeah. Mhm.
and but he's got like a full computer setup in this area. And he's
Yeah, the
clearly
one thing the
like
movie doesn't explain very well is where all the miniaturized technology came from for the animals.
that's a big question I had. A lot of these guys have like night vision goggles and stuff, and if you see night vision goggles for humans, they're huge.
They're huge.
They're
I
so
saw
big.
Jurassic Park.
If you've seen any action movie in the last 30 years, you know that they're just monstrous. It's
Yeah.
not like swimming goggles.
No.
They are like a full head setup.
Hmm.
And somehow they made guinea pig sized night vision goggles along with so throughout the movie, this is not spoilers or anything, but torches to like cut through metal that are hot enough to cut through metal at a guinea pig level.
Right.
Power screwdrivers that are small for a guinea pig sized hand that
Hmm.
unscrew. These screws that they unscrew can't possibly be to scale in the real world. There's one scene where it's blatant because it's literally the size of a guinea pig's hand. And if that was a real screw, like holding on a grate or so, like a vent or something, there's no way that they would use a screw that small. It's insane. I think
I
I
was
have that
more
in my notes
impressed by the
later,
little
but
PDA that they
yeah,
have, that little computer.
right. They have like actual computers that are like government level supercomputers to crack like hacking encryptions and stuff like that. That are guinea pig size or mole size, which is even smaller, really.
Yeah, they're like the size of
Um,
a nickel.
Yeah. And so we get introduced to Speckles, who I didn't even realize. I thought it was Steve Buscemi at first.
That's funny.
But then my partner who was watching the movie was looking at me, staring at me. And so I felt her gaze, and so I looked back, and she was like, "Is he doing his Peggy Sue Got Married voice?" And I said,
Yes,
"Oh my God, he is."
he is. Yeah, that's so funny because Ray caught it before me too.
Yeah,
So that's pretty funny that they both
that
caught it
is
before
funny.
we
Yeah,
did.
yeah. It's Peggy Sue Got Married Gumby voice, basically. That he goes on to describe as Gumby if you watch any of the behind the scenes of Peggy Sue Got Married or hear him talk about that role. It was
Mhm.
like his impression of Gumby that almost got him fired from that movie.
And look, it's been a few years. He decided to
It
try it again.
it works really well as a character
It
voice for
does.
like a voice acting role, much better than like in live action, in my opinion.
Yeah, for a digital mole, it's fine.
Yeah, exactly. And then of course you get the sexy girl guinea pig that you know is a girl because she has an earring.
Does she gets the earring later, doesn't she?
She has an earring in this early scene, but
Does
they
she?
they
Okay.
replace the earring later.
Ah, okay.
But yeah, she has an earring, and that's how you know she's a girl.
I mean, it's
At
better than
least
in
they didn't give her
Pixar,
boobs. I
right?
mean,
Like in
or like
Pixar, she just would have
hips.
had a big butt.
Yeah,
So
exactly. Um, so we were talking about undersized technology, but there's a fly, a house
yeah,
fly that I can't tell if it's like operating of its own accord or if it's like remote
yes.
controlled or something,
No, no, no. It's its own sentient fly.
but it can communicate and do things. It has like technology built onto it to communicate. So whatever technology that the guinea pigs have to communicate, it's even smaller versions of that.
Fun fact, voiced by D. Bradley Baker, huge big time voice actor.
They at one point in this opening scene use the fly to go up a guy's nose to distract him,
Bill
which I thought was
Nice.
pretty funny
It's
actually.
funny. Yeah.
I'm just gonna say it. This movie was not nearly as bad as I expected it to be. It was entertaining. It wasn't good by any means, but it was at the very least entertaining. I would show this to a kid over Ant Bully any day.
Oh, 100%. In fact, I would argue that the first act was really, really fun. I
Yeah,
laughed a lot in
I
the
just don't
first
do
part of
kids
this.
movies as much. You do more kids movies because you have, in fact, a child,
Well, yeah, yeah.
and
But I
you've always liked kids movies since I've known you. So
but this movie, it goes off the rails. I really think the first act is like legitimately funny and really just kind of a fun kids movie. The middle of the movie is very dark and twisted, and then the third act just jumps the shark.
yeah, big time.
So
I also want to bring up that uh, I was expecting this is a 2009 movie,
mhm.
and they're doing fully CG characters, not just any
Yeah.
characters, but characters that are covered in fur.
Yep.
I actually think that they did a really admirable job with it
Yeah,
for the time. It didn't
absolutely.
really bother me. Like it didn't stand out too poorly. There were certain like anytime you see a human interacting physically with one of those CG characters, it was pretty wonky, and we'll come to that a little bit later. But um, other than that, I watch a lot of shout out VFX artists react. I watch a lot of that on YouTube. It's pretty fun to hear VFX artists react to good and bad CG in a lot of these different movies. Fun channel if you're ever interested in that kind of thing. But because I watch a lot of that, there were things that I was noticing in the movie I probably wouldn't have noticed otherwise in the way that the CG was done to make it look better and hide certain things. But fur and hair are very difficult to animate,
Mhm.
and they did a pretty solid job at it. I mean, I think that these 3D models would hold up even today in a brand new kids movie.
Yeah, and that's the thing, right? This is a 2009 kids film. They clearly spent a lot of money on the cast,
Yeah.
and so I think it looks totally fine. There's some stuff like you said, but I think overall it looks pretty good.
Yeah, agreed. It's with how Who Framed Roger Rabbit and some of those movies where you do animated characters in a live action world, there's ways to do it that work and there's ways to do it that don't work.
Hmm.
But I think in this one it actually worked pretty well for the most
Hmm.
part.
Yeah.
There's a chase scene in the third act that it was actually pretty solid. I
Yes.
didn't expect it to be as good as it was.
No, I thought
Um,
it I mean, it looks really good. There's some silliness in there, of course, but
yeah,
again, it's a kids movie, right? But it looks
right.
good.
Um, so they successfully do this mission. They get to like the computer and they find some file that needs to be that isn't supposed to be there, and it seems to outline some sort of plan for world domination. And so they copy this file and get out. There's like a big escape scene,
Hmm.
and they get out of there. And something that is interesting that, well, not really interesting. It's like one of those questions that we never get an answer for is that we do find out that these guinea pigs have a little like earpiece, and that's what lets them understand humans and other species, I guess, because they can speak to moles. Um,
Right.
but
They can just speak any language.
yes, except not dog, apparently, because there's a lot of dogs and cats throughout this film that they apparently can't speak to. Even they can speak to other species throughout the movie, but they cannot communicate with dogs or cats or whatever other animals are out there. It
It
makes me
is.
wonder, is it a rodent specific language? Like the languages of this world? Because they talk to a gerbil,
Hmm.
they talk to a mole, and this is without their little headset translators.
They talk to mice.
They talk to mice.
They talk to the hamster slash ferret.
Yes. But we don't see them talk to any other species in
That's
the movie,
interesting.
non-rodent species.
Yeah, I didn't really think about that.
Oh, I did.
Well,
I'm
because
like,
the
why
other,
don't they just tell the dog to chill out? You know,
well, because
they have
also
the
the
headset on.
dog, the cat, and the squirrel are all real. They're not CG.
Yeah.
Which I thought was an interesting choice too. The snake was probably CG.
It was partially CG
Yeah, like when
when
it
it does like the
attacks.
attack at the glass. Yeah.
Yeah. But that's interesting. I didn't really think about when they're not speaking, to us, right? They're talking to other animals. They really only talk to rodents. So maybe that is the case. Maybe it is more like real life where, rodents can talk to each other like humans can talk to each
Is
other.
that real life? You think
Can,
guinea pigs can talk to mice
I have no idea,
in
but I know
real life?
they can talk to each other.
Other guinea pigs?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm saying, so it's not a huge leap, to say that they can just talk to other similar rodents. I
But
mean,
where's the line?
oh, I have no idea.
Because
I still think it's,
an elephant and a marmot are like two of the most closely related DNA wise animals in the world. But to think that those two could communicate just because they are very close in DNA seems kind of crazy to me.
well,
Also,
I
then
think
why
it's,
can't we communicate with chimpanzees? Why can't we talk to them?
well, we can do sign language with some of them, but I mean, I
Oh
think
my
it's
God.
crazy that like a German Shepherd can talk to a Chihuahua. I think that makes no sense.
They're still dogs.
I mean, barely.
Yeah, okay, I'm not going to get into that. I do agree for a lot of reasons, but so yeah, they
Well, can
get
a
through
house
this.
cat talk to a tiger?
It raises a lot of questions, Derek. By your logic, they should all be able to communicate. Yeah, so
We
they
need
get through
answers,
this.
Bruckheimer.
And they get to their like lounge time back at the pad before like some FBI director is going to come in, and apparently they have a guinea pig sized DDR machine.
I mean, I saw it. It makes it makes just as much sense as any of the other tech.
Like the girl being on Facebook and having her own guinea pig profile on Facebook.
So back in the day, I don't know, do you remember or not that you could have a pet book?
I mean, yeah, but I
Do you
don't
remember
know that
that?
that's necessarily what this was
But maybe that's what it was supposed to be.
because she's not a pet.
Not really, but she's
They make
also,
that very clear. Um, so yeah, the FBI director or the whoever's in charge, they got a new guy running this unit, and he shows up to check it out, and he's an asshole just from beginning to end. Like the guy is a dick. Um, he goes in with like preconceived notions about what this is, and no matter what he literally. So this is the idea of this is that it's in our current real world,
right.
but that there's a special government division of talking guinea pigs and flies and cockroaches that the government has. And so this guy's going in knowing only it seems that this is an animal like unit. But he goes in and he sees guinea pigs that can talk and do high difficulty special ops missions successfully. He sees flies that are basically drones,
Uh-huh.
and he's like, "No, we got to shut this down."
I mean, to be honest, I think the whole reason that happens is to make the audience think he's the bad guy at the end.
Yeah, okay, maybe. Um, but they also so when he's explaining why guinea pigs, because he's like, why are we using guinea pigs? And Zach Galifianakis is like, well, guinea pig DNA is 98% identical to humans. Not true. I want to be very clear on that. That is not true. It's a misnomer. People have said that pig DNA is similar to humans, which I didn't look into. Maybe that's true, but a guinea pig is not a pig.
Pig DNA, I don't know that it's 98% similar.
I don't think
Pig
there's
D
any animal short of maybe chimps that are that close to human DNA.
well, yeah. Pigs
But that
are
they're actually
somewhat
very
similar,
smarter. They're
but
very smarter because they're way smarter because their synapses fire 1,000 times faster than humans, which we never see demonstrated in this movie at all. They seem to be
just the same as us.
smart humans at best, like above average intelligence. Nothing except for the mole.
Well, yeah.
Speckles is their tech guy, So he's
Right.
way smarter than anybody.
Obviously. Yeah. I feel
Um,
like if you and I had received the same training, we'd probably be about as good.
yeah, nobody is that spectacular. But they say that oh god, it's so stupid. But they're like, okay, get the cages and throw them in there. And the mole, voiced by Nicolas Cage, is like, Cage, oh no.
You gotta
And I
say
was
it the way
like,
he says it.
oh my god, Cage. I don't know how to do a
Can you,
Gumby voice,
you can't do
but
the voice? Okay.
um and yeah, so he explains during this that the little earpiece with it looks like a headset, like a pilot headset with like a mic that comes down and an earpiece, is how the guinea pigs can communicate with humans or each other. But then as soon as those headsets are removed, they can still speak to the mole and the mice and whatever else. So that gets into that whole thing we already talked about. Um, but my note was, yeah, so moles and GPs speak the same language. So that was the thing. Um,
I do like that they kept that the mole was basically blind without the goggles.
yeah, I mean that was
I mean,
fine. I think
because like
that was
I think,
good.
but they could have easily have just kind of not done that, and so
Yeah, I
I'm
mean
glad that they did.
that never really came into play throughout the whole movie. It's a little weird that they bring up like how do I look when Zach Galifianakis is like how do I look and he asks the blind mole, even though this is the guy that created all the tech for this. He's apparently so smart, but he asks the blind creature how he looks.
Well, I think that's part of the casting, right? You put Zach Galifianakis in this role so you don't take him seriously.
I guess it just seems like a cheap joke, but they
Yeah,
never really
that
bring
definitely
up the
was.
fact that he's basically blind at any other point in the movie. So
Yeah.
they could have done probably some interesting stuff with that, but I did laugh a lot at the stealth hamster when
Oh,
so these like FBI guys are like trying to get all the animals out, and Zach Galifianakis and his like assistant are trying to get the animals free so that they can go meet him somewhere else later and do whatever. But when they're all trying to escape and the assistant's trying to distract them, she's carrying a cage out that has like a towel over it or something, and they're like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, we got to take that." And she's like, "What? You can't have this one." And they were like, "Oh yeah, we can." And so they take the towel off. And they go, "It's empty." And she's like, "No, this is the stealth hamsters. They have light bending abilities to bend light around them so they don't appear visible." And she's like, "Go ahead and reach in if you don't believe me." And so he opens the door. She's like, "Oh my god, they got away!"
it's
And so these guys are like freaking out. That was pretty funny.
it
That
was.
was probably my favorite scene of the whole movie, to be honest.
It's a
That was smart, very
it's a
clever.
really funny scene, and she
Yeah,
sells it really well.
yeah, absolutely. Also, uh, so the mole and the guinea pigs escape to a pet store. They like there was a truck delivering supplies to the headquarters, and they hitch a ride onto that, and they get taken to a pet store. And they get ready to put him in this cage, and of course we get another comment from Nick Cage going, "No, not the cage. I don't do cages." They took
You
every opportunity that they could to milk that joke.
you know that he probably had a lot of fun with
Oh,
this
I
role,
guarantee you he had a blast doing it. Yeah, I'm sure it
right?
was a lot of fun. And the movie was fun overall. I mean,
Yeah,
did it go off the rails? Whatever, sure, but it was still overall fun. So I'm happy that he did it because it was an interesting movie. Maybe you should show it to your daughter someday and see what she
but
thinks.
she watched it with me.
Oh, did she? So
Yeah,
what was her
she
thoughts?
she loved it. She thought it was great. She asked if we could watch it again.
What was her favorite character?
I did not ask her that.
Oh my God.
We
That's
didn't
I
get.
ask you that every time you watch something with her and
Oh,
you
I'm sorry.
never have an answer for me.
All two times out of 92 movies.
No, I'm talking about other stuff. When I asked like who her favorite Ninja Turtle was, you couldn't tell me.
I told you it was Donatello.
You you know now. No, you told me it was Leonardo, and that was
No, it changes.
right.
That
You know
look,
that now. But when she
that's
first
little
watched
kids,
it,
man. It changes all the time.
sure it does. Um, one thing that I thought was interesting is that this pet store did not for a second think it was weird that they got a mole. That doesn't look anything like a guinea pig. I'm going to be honest. If you don't know what a mole looks like, Google it. It does not look anything like a guinea pig.
But
It
he's
doesn't
not
look
even
like a
surprised.
mouse. It doesn't look like a gerbil. It looks weird.
But the guy doesn't even question that he just now has more pets to sell.
Yeah, he's like, I didn't pay for this inventory, but now I guess I can sell these.
It didn't occur to him to be like, oh, maybe they're from the place I was just at. I should ask.
No. And then of course, this being a Disney kids animated movie, we get the farting character.
Uh, yeah.
That's the fart jokes for the people like me that think farting is funny. It's another guinea pig that's in there. It's kind of giving him the lay of the land. But yeah, he's a farter.
I guess
That's his joke.
we didn't break down the full cast here. So Nick plays the mole, Speckles. We talked about how Penelope Cruz plays one of the guinea pigs. Her name is Juarez. Then we have Darwin is like the main leader guinea pig. He's played by Sam Rockwell. The other guinea pig is Blaster, played by Tracy Morgan. And now we're introduced to the farting guinea pig, Hurley, voiced by Jon Favreau.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
They also meet the hamster slash ferret in the cage that speaks the same language as them.
Steve
Again,
Buscemi.
Steve Buscemi's character that really doesn't do anything in the movie other than be funny, I guess.
Yeah.
And we also see them communicate with the fly
Hmm.
without their headsets on at this
Hmm.
point. So it's assumed that flies also speak the same languages.
Unless the fly is still wearing its gear. So maybe the fly can just understand them because it's wearing a headset.
I guess then the question is, does the headset convert it into a universal language like that is then translated to their language?
I think so. Like in
I
Star
don't know.
Trek.
Yeah, exactly. I
I
don't
think it
know.
just works like the Star Trek translator, which if you watch enough Star Trek, you realize doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
No, it's way more complicated than it needs to be. Yeah.
It knows exactly when to translate, when not to translate, what a
Yes.
colloquialism is.
Yeah, exactly. Um, so some people come into the pet store to buy pets, as you
Ugh.
do.
This is where the
Um,
movie starts to take a turn into like, this is dark
yes.
real fast.
Um, we get the Sid from Toy Story type character.
Who, by the way, their house looks like Andy's house.
It does, yeah. But first, the daughter was asking about the mole in the cage, and the dad says that that's a hideous crime against nature,
Seems
which I
kind of
thought was
mean.
pretty rude. Moles
Yeah.
are cute.
I don't know that I agree with that, but the mole's not bothering anybody. Like,
Calling any animal a hideous crime against nature? Come on now. It
well, that's
is
what I'm saying.
nature.
That's what I'm
If
saying. The
anything,
dude was out of
humans are
line.
the hideous crimes against nature compared to animals.
Like, at some point, a mole hurt him.
I
Okay.
guess that dude's whole family was killed by moles,
Oh
I
God.
guess. It's like the reverse of the mole story in this,
Oh
but
man.
yeah. Yeah, so the girl is like, I'm gonna get this guinea pig and picks up Darwin, I get which is a ridiculous name for a guinea pig, but Darwin the guinea pig. And
I mean, you get the reference though, right?
yes, I get the
I mean,
reference.
that's there for the adults watching.
Right. It was Darwin that she picked, right?
Well, at first, but then she puts him down for some reason and gets Juarez.
Yeah, that's right. Um,
I forget why.
and then the kid, the boy, picks up Jon Favreau's
Mm-hmm.
guinea
Hurley.
pig
Yeah.
and is like he puts him into like one of the what's the sport for that? Is that lacrosse? Like a
Yeah. Yeah.
lacrosse racket
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
like with like the netting
Yeah.
and slings it across the shop into aiming for a snake cage, which
It
apparently the snake cage just opened on top for
which
some
is
reason.
which is really safe considering they show the snake, leaping, kind of thing.
Right,
But
but not leaving the cage.
they haven't paid for this guinea pig yet. This dude's in a like just a pet store throwing pets around.
Yeah, and the dad is like, I guess that's okay.
It's
But
awful.
then the kid is like, oh, I'm gonna take this one. And the pet store guy comes over and he's like, where did the other one go? And he goes, I don't know. And he wasn't like, you just had it in your hands. I just saw you.
To be fair, the pet store guy was probably like, "Well, I'm still up like three animals on the day, so it doesn't matter.
So if the snake ate it, who cares?
I'm
But
already
then
selling stuff."
they picked up the other guinea pig
Yeah, Blaster.
blaster and they take those two. Um
Hurley does not get eaten by the snake because he lands in a tank directly
right
next
next
to the
to it.
snake tank.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which the guy finds later and has no questions about it.
Yeah.
Um, but then they're like, so then it's just Speckles and Darwin that are in the cage. And they're like, well, how can we get out of here? And somebody has the idea to play dead. And so being a mole, he already looks kind of dead. So he just kind of rolls over and sits there. And so, oh my God, it was so dark. They take him and put him in a trash bag. Like the Niecy Nash's character, who's only in this for like 2 seconds. I don't even know why she needed to be in this movie. It could have just been the other guy the whole time.
Yeah. I don't know why you needed two people. I agree. Yeah.
But they put him in like this garbage bag and like pet-sized garbage bag, and he was gonna go take him out back. But then Niecy Nash is like, no, the garbage truck is out there. Just go throw it in the back of the garbage truck. And so he's like, okay. And so he goes and throws this live mole that he thinks is dead into the back of the garbage truck, which immediately starts doing the crushing thing where it crushes all the thing. It was basically like the shredder at the end of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. My, my partner with me was like, she was like, oh, well, he's dead. And I'm like, nah, it'll be like Shredder coming back in the second Ninja Turtles movie. Any character that gets crushed by a garbage truck like that, they always come back. Um,
But before, like, again, this is a kids movie. And I'm like, wow, that was dark.
yeah,
This is like, so we've had, a guinea pig was thrown on, it was trying to be thrown in with a snake that would have eaten it. We get the mole thrown and supposedly crushed in the garbage truck. I'm like, children are watching this.
yeah, yeah. So they decide that they need to get Zach Galifianakis' character. They need to get the PDA, which is still in the lab. That's has a bunch of the FBI people in it. So their solution to get it is to send a squadron of cockroaches into this place, and one of the cockroaches steals it and comes back out. Now, when the cockroaches come out, he grabs the one and puts it in a little cage with the PDA. What about the other like 1,000 cockroaches?
Don't worry about it.
They all have government tech on them.
Uh-huh. Yep.
We never hear from them again until the dance scene at the end of the movie.
I mean, I assume they went and hid underground or something.
I guess it's very weird.
It is.
But then we get a video call with the guy that runs the company, and I guess we didn't really cover this. Saber. They have this company. What was the company's name? Do you remember? Like
Saber.
no, but like the thing, the countdown or whatever, the name for all their
Well, so okay, so there's different things. So that's um Cluster Storm
cluster storm. Yeah.
is
So
is like the evil thing that's going on.
yeah. So this company is basically a
Saber Sense? Are you talking about Saber Sense? Is that the
I'm just talking about like this company makes like appliances,
Mhm.
household appliances, things like that. So there isn't really a reason to think that they're doing something, but for some reason the government is tracking something with them.
Right.
And that's why the guinea pigs go in there the very first time. And then they see that there's some plan for world domination. It's unclear what it is. But when they bring the information back to show it to the FBI people, and Speckles can't pull it up. It just looks like plans for a coffee maker. And so that's what gets them shut down. And yeah, so where was I going with this? Oh, there is a secret evil plan for world domination. We know that, but other people don't necessarily know that. So we see a meeting with Saber and another person, or we don't know. It's another person assumed that is named Mr. Yanshu or something along those lines.
Yeah, faceless voice.
Yeah, and he brings up why aren't we doing this with video? And he said, I've told you before, it's best if I stay silent or stay
Anonymous.
anonymous. And instantly right then I'm like, okay, this is an animal. This is a talking animal right then. That's why they won't show their face.
So the fact that Nick plays a mole and they talk about how the fact they have a mole on their team, that line is in the movie. Oh, you have a mole on your team. That's a line. And then he vanishes at the beginning of the second act. You didn't think it was him?
Well, I not because of those reasons.
Okay.
No. But as this like Mr. Yanshu voice went on, I started hearing some of Nick's inflections, even though it was like a weird computerized version of his voice. You can
Mm,
still, we've watched so many movies with him that
yeah.
he has certain small inflections in the way he speaks. And I was like, I started to suspect it there. And then there's another scene of him talking later, and I was like, oh, it's 100% Nicolas Cage. And then the mole thing was, a funny thing later, but I didn't really put that together until later in the movie.
Yeah.
Um,
I've watched a lot of Mission Impossible, so
yeah. So another unexplained thing in this movie is the amount of pop culture that the guinea pigs are aware of.
okay.
So at one point, one of them references MacGyver, which hasn't been on the air since the 80s.
Yeah.
And a guinea pig's lifespan is not that long.
So that's really unclear in this though, because once you get the full picture, these were all alive, living things that Galifianakis quote unquote rescued. Then they trained for quote years.
Well, guinea pigs, I just Googled it, typically live 5 to 8 years.
So,
So it's possible that he picked them all up when they were like a year old.
but then they trained for like 2 years.
Sure, and then they're 3 years
So they're
old.
3 or 4.
But that's still not old. That's not my problem. My
Is that
problem is
what it
how
is?
do they know what MacGyver is?
I mean, I guess they watched a lot of TV.
Did they while they were training?
Look, that place doesn't look like they take things very seriously. They've got DDR. One of them, is
I
playing
guess one of
that.
them's on Facebook.
Yeah,
So, but it's still, I don't see a lot of MacGyver content on Facebook.
no, but I mean, they could sit down and watch a movie.
I guess. The other thing about this movie is that they love the Black Eyed Peas, and especially one song is like boom, boom, boom. They play it like every 8 seconds in this movie. And
Oh,
I
that's
get it.
funny.
Kids probably love that. Black Eyed Peas music is basically made for 8-year-olds. So it seems like, you know, a great kind of a, there's catching strays from me there. Black Eyed Peas, they don't necessarily deserve that, but hey, they're all millionaires from their music. So I mean, whoever's buying it, they should be happy. But I mean, that music is great for pumping up children, I'm sure. So, but like the whole soundtrack is Black Eyed Peas.
That might be. I have no idea.
It is.
I
Oh,
believe
I
you.
mean, you didn't hear all the Black Eyed Peas
I
songs?
heard some, but I don't really know their catalog very well.
But
So,
3 or 4 songs from the Black Eyed Peas in a single movie is a lot of any artist in any movie.
fair enough.
Unless you're talking, I mean, even like Phil Collins in Lion King, right?
Look, let's see, there's one for the that's the Black Eyed Peas. We've got another one. There's two. There's only two.
Okay, well then they just repeat those two throughout the whole movie.
I mean, that might be, but I mean, there's some stuff that's kind of in that vein, like CeeLo Green has a song in here, you
Yeah,
know. I mean, it's not typically what I listen to, so that's hard for me to kind of pick out that,
it was just
who that
like
is.
we were just
But
waiting for the next time. Boom, boom, boom came on. Like you're throughout the whole end of the movie.
some Lady
Um,
Gaga in there, Flo
yeah,
Rida and Nelly,
very 2009 soundtrack.
yeah,
Um,
Space Cowboy.
so the two that get uh purchased, adopted, whatever.
Yeah.
The little girl is putting makeup and like a princess dress, and then the like worst CG in the whole movie is when she's putting the crown on the head of the guinea pig. It looks
Mm.
so bad. If you're paying attention to like where the crown, like physical prop, and like where the head is, and where they had to add it to get it to get to work, it was bad. Um, but that and there's one scene where Zach Galifianakis is holding all three of the guinea pigs towards the end of the movie, and that was a really bad scene too. But the CGI when they're not interacting with humans was really good.
hmm
Um, but yeah,
And I
what
think it's
the
just the big size difference because when you look at something like Roger Rabbit or Space Jam, the characters are much closer in size typically to the humans around them. And I think that makes the scaling a lot easier. This was a
could be
harder job, I think.
that could definitely play a role. So then the other guy, the Sid, from Toy Story Kid, is has decided to put his guinea pig into a remote controlled car and jump it off ramps and like run it through a bunch of other action figures. It's a very weird.
and some weird chomping car obstacle. I'm not sure what that
Yeah,
was supposed to
that
be.
the guinea pig like does a barrel roll around like where like a what's the move on a bike when a
Oh,
dirt
I
bike
have
when
no
they
idea what the,
like the
yeah.
Superman where they like take their feet off of the bike and just hold it by the handlebars. It's basically what the guinea pig does at that obstacle, and it's very weird.
I mean, the kid is
Um
very impressed by it.
yeah, and so meanwhile all this is going on, the other guinea pig, the lead guinea pig, Darwin, he finds a way out because of Steve Buscemi's character. And while he's walking, the other guinea pig, Jon Favreau's character, notices they both have this weird spot in their fur.
Yeah.
And so his assumption is that they're brothers. And you know what, that's not really confirmed or denied throughout the movie, but um
I think
I
it's
thought
implied.
I thought it was a spot because in the very beginning of the movie he's on fire and they like have to put part of his fur out. I thought
But
that spot was the spot where the fur burned off.
oh, that's interesting. I didn't connect those two things. Maybe it is.
I don't know either way, but that was my initial thought. But yeah, they both get out and so they're walking down the street and they see one of the coffee makers from this company. And so they're like, "Oh my God, we have to get the chip out of this." And so Darwin goes into the coffee machine and the so stupid. The chip that's in there has a built-in countdown timer, implying that every piece of tech that this company made, this every appliance has a built-in countdown timer
Uh-huh.
for whenever this company is going to launch for the end of the world. And it's on the side of the chip, so it's tiny. So they built special tiny LEDs that would count down universally, and then they do nothing after that.
That's what I was gonna say. They don't do anything because Saber still
After,
has to press the button.
yeah, it's just it's just for somebody that's taking it apart, they can be like, "Huh, what does this countdown do? Like, who's that for?
I don't know. It makes no sense
Is
in
it
my
just in
mind.
case some guinea pigs like happen to get inside of it or something?"
I, dude, it makes zero sense since the mechanism does nothing.
No, they still have to press a remote button to get it to activate. Now, spoiler alert, but we find out later that apparently this mole designed all these. Now, maybe he wanted anybody that works for him to be able to go inside of these machines and see the countdown. I don't know. It's all very weird.
That doesn't seem very
But
helpful.
then the coffee maker, it turns out, is basically a transformer. And the craziest part of that is that we find out later that Speckles, Nick Cage's character, planned this whole thing. But that would mean that he also designed all these coffee makers to basically be transformers. And no human looking at the budget was like, why does it cost $8,000 to make this coffee maker that can transform into a mass weapon of killing?
Dude, it's even worse than that because it's not just the coffee makers. It's every single appliance Saber
Appliance.
sells, and they can bolt onto each other like Voltron,
Yes.
and they have their
And
own intelligence.
none of the humans knew that this was going to happen. They thought when they pressed that button that it was just going to like do a basically internet between all the machines. Basically, they
Yeah,
have them all
and
connected.
all the things or whatever, Internet
Yeah,
of Things.
like we have now, where everything's connected to the internet. It was
Yeah,
basically going to be that, but they none of them question why each one of these need like servo motors that made arms and spinning blades appear, or like why these. The humans in this movie are incompetent.
oh yeah, straight up, they all are. Every one of them. I mean, the FBI agents, the everybody. It's so terrible, and it doesn't really. This is where I'm saying like the movie kind of jumps the shark here, right? Is that like this thing is just as sophisticated as like in those live action Transformers movies. There's like this one little Transformer. It's basically that.
Yeah,
It can shoot like blaster rays somehow. It's not plugged into anything.
it's a
Where is it
coffee
getting its
maker.
power source?
Yeah, and yeah. I mean, it's a weapon of mass destruction, and it turns it's on its own when the guinea pig tries to grab the chip.
And it's not just targeting Darwin, it's also targeting Hurley and it's blowing up stuff. Like it starts off kind of
And
funny
none of the
because
humans think this is weird that are
nobody
around seeing this
notices.
happen. Yeah,
Nobody notices that
nobody
this is
notices a
happening.
sentient machine and two guinea pigs
Not
fighting
at
each
all.
other.
No.
Except they do, because later there's a report that came in about two guinea pigs pushing a busted machine on a skateboard.
Right, but nobody thought to do anything
And
about that.
the coffee machine got ran over by a car that didn't get a flat tire or anything, even though this thing was full of spinning blades and heat lasers.
It's so
Also,
ridiculous.
here's another problem, okay? We're led to believe, what was the name? What was Jon Favreau's character's name?
Hurley.
Hurley. We're led to believe that Hurley has been in this pet store his whole life
Yes.
and just waiting to be adopted. Now, during this fight, he yells out, "Yippee-ki-yay, coffee maker."
Yeah, right. The Die Hard
How
reference.
does he know what Die Hard is? Am I led to believe that they're playing Die Hard on a TV somewhere within view of the guinea pig cage?
I mean, maybe that's what they do at night. I don't know.
Like, I can buy your story that they know what MacGyver is because they have access to Facebook or whatever, but this guy doesn't have access to Facebook.
No, it doesn't make sense.
He's been in a cage.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, my next note was Speckles is the bad guy because we hear Mr. Yanshu talking again, and I'm like, yeah, that's Nicolas Cage. Um, but yeah, we see the guinea pig Megazord, which is what I called it at this time before I had seen the end of the movie and there was an actual Megazord.
There's an actual.
But basically the guinea pigs all meet back together at Zach Galifianakis' house, and he gets them suited up to like take down this whole plan. They
It
figure
is
out what's
really
going on
impressive that all of these guinea pigs can traverse unknown territory with no equipment.
instantly.
I mean, that was pretty. Maybe I just don't understand what that type of FBI training would be like, but I was impressed.
Yeah. But they're like, we got to take this place down. We've got 8 minutes or something before the
They have a half an hour. They have 30
half an hour,
minutes.
30
They
minutes
take
before the
6
thing is
hours to do this, but
right. And so he just happened to steal all the equipment and at his house have a fabricated uh hamster wheel or hamster ball vehicle
like Mad Max.
that has like it's like a pod racer with like one in the back and then two on one on each
Hmm.
like fork coming out. Or like yeah, like the bat pod kind of setup. That kind of thing. But uh they're like, okay, we're going because the FBI shows up right then to the guy's house. And so they take this vehicle out and they just smash it through a window right next to the FBI people. And then we have Hurley and Darwin in one ball,
Yes.
and then we have each of the other two have their own ball. And that is important. I'll get into it later. But
Okay.
right now they're all driving together. Now, who has control of what? Unclear.
Yeah. I mean,
At this point, like who's like in the Megazord, it's like each one can control an arm or a leg or whatever. But in this, the only things to control are the brakes, the gas, and steering. And it's
no, they
not you
have
don't
like
need three people for that.
they have all this tech though. They can do all this
Sure, but they
scanning
never
and
use
stuff.
that. Oh, that's true. They do
Well,
have. I guess one of them is scanning. So I guess Darwin is the one that's driving
driving. I
probably,
think
and the other
so.
two are. One of them is looking at tech stuff, and the other one is doing unknown, whatever. But yeah, there's a kind of a cool chase scene where it's like a live action mixed with, the animated stuff. At some point they do like the bat pod leaving the tumbler thing where they all three split off into their own hamster balls. And
Yeah.
this is where I've been really about the realism of this, but especially on this. Now, these things he says that these can top 60 plus miles an hour or whatever. That's
That's what he
a point.
says.
He says something like that.
Yeah.
In one of these, there's two full-size guinea pigs, and one of them's for the runt, we find out later, but the other one is very big. He
Hmm.
is a beast of a guinea pig, and somehow this thing can still go 60 miles an hour. Now, that is doubling the amount of weight, basically, that the thing is designed to be running with.
Look, just imagine the power source on something that size if they have the power
How,
sources to
yeah,
use all
what's it
those little
powered by?
tools.
There's no engine.
It's the same thing as the little tools, man.
Oh my God.
It's
At least,
powered by happy thoughts.
yeah, apparently.
You have to
Um,
believe.
Yeah, so we get these federal people chasing these guinea pig balls or gerbil balls or whatever, hamster balls throughout the city that are going like 60 miles an hour. And what's funny is I don't know if you noticed this. but the vehicles keep changing. The like one time Darwin will be being chased by a Chevy Tahoe, and then the next scene it's a Ford Explorer, and it's the same people driving it. So it's not like
It's just
one
a black
crashed.
SUV. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, they were like they're all the same. It's fine, no problem.
Look, the 8-year-olds watching the movie do not care.
True. And apparently, this is what's even crazier is that these things can go 60 plus miles an hour. The Fly can go that fast and faster
Yeah,
because he's keeping
Superfly.
up. He's like an eye in the sky. I'm
Uh,
pretty sure flies can't fly that fast. I'm just gonna say it.
well, you are not a genetically engineered superfly that works for the FBI.
But none of them are genetically engineered. They say that later in the movie. They're just normal.
The guinea pigs are, but maybe the
So you
fly is
think the
engineered.
fly is genetically engineered to go 70 miles an
I
hour?
mean, we genetically engineer flies all the time.
Not to defy space and time. Anyway, apparently also built into these is a saw blade that comes out the side on
Yeah,
one of them. We don't ever see any of the other ones use that, but at one point a blade comes out the side just to like shred the guy's tires. And also, this is kind of as a guy that works on tires a lot for a job. This is the amount of inertia on a tire going 70 miles an hour would have ripped that saw blade off of that ball. Or it would
but
have
what
gotten
if it
caught in the
was?
tire and whipped it around so that the guinea pig would have gotten squished by the tire.
But it's a special FBI saw blade, Ryan.
Made of unobtainium,
That's right,
yeah,
exactly.
vibranium or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's
Um,
powered by unobtainium. The metal is vibranium. You know,
yeah. My next note is fireworks. Oh, because they go through like apparently there's just like a random fireworks celebration
some
or like
festival. I don't
some
know.
festival being set up, and they have like a football field worth of fireworks set up.
It's a lot.
So many fireworks for
There's
a
so many.
non 4th of July. And the guinea pigs just run through it and like start setting off fireworks and they start blowing up everywhere. And this FBI agent is determined to keep up with them still. And it's just like has fireworks exploding all around him. And
Well, he doesn't
almost
want to
like
get
kills
fired for not catching a guinea pig.
he also almost kills a bunch of people
Yeah,
that are like in the area and ends up rolling this SUV, but nobody's hurt.
it's
I'm convinced that people died during the chase somewhere because there's like one where a SUV jumps and like is in the air and smashes into another vehicle like nose first.
yeah, it destroys it. Yeah.
There's people died during this
Look,
chase.
between the car chase and the end of the movie, somebody has to have died. There's no way
Probably several
everybody survived all
somebodies.
that.
It's probably several somebodies. I can't imagine. And yeah,
Right?
especially with what happens in the last act.
Yeah.
There's probably a lot of deaths. But yeah, then we see they press the button, and so stuff starts coming alive. And there's like people shopping in this appliance store, and
No,
all
wait,
these
you
appliances.
jumped ahead.
Oh, there's an appliance store attack. Was my next note.
I think you jumped ahead,
Okay,
didn't you?
no, because they are going to go get to where the
They're still
uh
not there. That happens before they get to the house.
no, they get to they take these balls and get to wherever they're going for the like the headquarters for the
Yeah.
whatever place. And while they're in there and
Okay.
they're like starting to infiltration,
Yeah.
they don't
Right.
stop the guy from pressing the button. He
Right.
presses the
That's
button.
correct. Yeah. So
Um,
just real quick, this is a pet peeve of mine in movies, just in general. So when they're at Zach Galifianakis' house, they say they have 30 minutes. We just watched this fairly long car chase in clearly the middle of the day.
yeah.
Sun is
And
up,
now it's night.
and now it's nighttime. It has been way more than 30 minutes.
Yeah,
So Bill Nye has been what? He watched this countdown that's on every clock on the world, and he's just sitting there holding the button for 3 hours.
maybe. But it shows us some scenes of like what's going on in the world and like appliance stores are just erupting with these like basically transformers that
Yeah.
are assumed to be massacring people because it's one thing for a appliance to not be able to kill a little guinea pig, but humans are much easier, larger targets. And these things can literally shoot like energy bolts and have saw blades and things like that. And that's just the coffee maker that we
Well, that's the
saw.
thing. Like, this is every Saber appliance in the world. They're the number one appliance maker in the world. They all have their own individual power source, so they don't have to be plugged in. We're talking, as we see, there's a microwave, right? There's like an oven and a washing machine and like these big appliances that are doing this.
Yeah,
People definitely died.
for sure. And there's, they're trying to basically the guinea pigs at this point are trying to get in to shut down the server or whatever that is
They want
controlling
to
all this.
upload the virus on the PDA into this computer system, thinking it'll destroy it.
Right. And so they're headed to the like server room or whatever. And there's a tripwire that is like head level for a guinea pig that's attached to grenades right
Yep.
in front of the server.
Yep.
And I'm like, who's that for?
I assume a human.
A guinea pig, a runt guinea pig standing on its hind legs is like maybe 8 inches off the ground. Unless the human is dragging their feet, it's unlikely that they're going to catch that.
Fair enough. I don't know. I'm not that familiar with
Also,
how
they're like,
tripwires are set
they
up.
just want to murder somebody
Yeah.
because there's literally grenades attached to it. It's not like going to set off an alarm or anything
Yeah,
like
but
that.
look at what the actual event is doing. The whole point is to kill people.
Yeah, that's true. Um, yeah, so while they're trying to get into the server, one of the machines shows up and traps Jon Favreau's character in it in the microwave portion of it. He sees a cake, and this
Yeah.
character's he's of course obese. So anytime he sees cake, he has to have it and comment about it. So it's in the microwave, and so he goes into the microwave, and then the microwave transforms and traps him in there. And so a bunch of them are fighting this microwave and trying to get to it before the hamster or the guinea pig gets microwaved inside this thing, which is super morbid.
That's what I'm saying, right? Like there's some really dark stuff in this movie.
Plus the grenade tripwire. Don't forget about that.
Yeah.
They are very clearly showing like a hand grenade attached to this, and they're
Uh-huh.
trying to keep this machine from tripping that hand grenade. Um, and yeah, it's they fight this thing and blah blah blah. It's a big old thing, and they eventually get separated because the grenade goes off,
Hmm.
and Darwin finds out the Speckles is the bad guy that was behind this whole thing.
Dun dun dun.
Yeah, and so we literally
The
get a scene where
mole.
like he's megazording. All these appliances are coming together and trying to form this giant 30, 40, 50 foot tall monster
It's
to
like
kill
3 stories
humans.
tall.
Yeah, it's there to kill humans. That he says that humans killed his family, and so now he's gonna take care of the humans.
Yeah.
And so the whole point of this is to murder humans.
Well, we get
And
like a flashback and his dad's like, avenge us kind
yeah,
of
if you
thing.
ever get the chance to destroy the human race, take it. It's like, what do you think your son is going to be doing to
And
say
it just even
that?
comes up, Ryan. All right.
I guess if you happen to have the chance to destroy the entire human population, make sure you take it.
You
I'm
never
sure you're
know.
going to give some good words like that to Kira someday. You know,
But for mole people,
mole people, yeah, yeah, oh yeah, exactly. If she ever gets to a chance to extinguish moles from the face of the earth, take it. Um, yeah, so there is a line saying, "I can't believe the mole was the mole."
yeah, it's hilarious. It's so funny.
Um,
The movie knows what it is for the most part. Like I said, there's a few like really dark bits, but otherwise,
so basically, there's this big fight where they're trying to get up to upload the virus because it can only be uploaded now from where Speckles like command console is on this Megazord, and Darwin has to convince him that he's no better than the humans if he kills them all, and he's like, "Oh my God, you're right. We have to take
well,
this down."
and not all humans are bad because Zach
Right?
Galifianakis saved him,
Yeah. And
and we get to
so
see him for a really long time.
yeah, like just a shot of Zach Galifianakis. It's clearly like a PNG pasted into the back of this uh
Uh-huh.
thing. But yeah, he so then they're like, well, I can't shut it down. I can't shut it down. Speckles can't shut this thing down. And so then the PDA fell earlier.
Hmm.
And so now Jon Favreau's character has to like sacrifice himself to get it back up to him.
No, that's to get Darwin back
Oh,
up.
that's
The
right.
the
He
fly
sacrificed
is
himself.
carrying the PDA,
That's right. So
which I don't know a lot
earlier
about flies, but I don't think they have like the ant strength.
they do. They're genetically engineered, Derek. We already talked about this. Earlier, there was the scene where Darwin was he was hanging on by like a cord, and the cord broke, and so he was falling, and so Jon Favreau's character grabs the other end, and since he's way fatter, he jumps off and uses his full guinea pig fat body weight to slingshot him all the way up, and then he just falls into the abyss.
Hmm.
And so yeah, they put the PDA in there and everything's fine. And then they have to go find the body of Jon Favreau's
Hurley,
character.
yeah.
And so keep in mind that these are super smart guinea pigs, but they don't know how to check a pulse or breath. They think
Look,
he's dead.
they're trained to be secret agents, not doctors.
Clearly. I mean, and breathing is not something they teach,
Well, you've seen
checking for
Clue.
breath.
You've seen
Uh,
Clue.
a long time ago, and I'd probably never again, but
How dare
um
you?
I know. But yeah, none of them notice that he's breathing or think to check he's breathing or check for a pulse. They just assumed he was dead. Even though they're super smart guinea pigs.
Maybe he was dead, Ryan.
Um, and he's alive. They bring the cake out, and of course that wakes the fat one up. Um, and it turns out he's good, and as long as he gets to eat his cake, he's fine. And so they all get back to the command center. They get their command center back. And the FBI head director wants to communicate directly with the guinea pigs and tells them that they did a great job and that they have something for them and they give them badges. And then they have Kip Killian or whatever his name is, Will Arnett's character, who's a giant jerk in the beginning. And he's been transferred to like Antarctica.
South Pole.
And he's like, I'm so sorry I was wrong. How long do I have to be out here?
I don't know if the FBI has a South Pole
Right, like why is
outpost.
the FBI in any Arctic region?
I don't know, man.
Part of Alaska, maybe.
Uh,
But then they proceed to have a dance party where the cockroaches are all their wings are part of the disco ball, and then they all come off the disco ball and start dancing.
now,
And the great cockroaches do river dance.
they, they're very talented. That was also part of the training. But we find out that so Bill Nighy's character is completely innocent of everything. He's
Yeah,
not
even though he's
responsible.
a CEO of a multi-billion-dollar company, who's
He's not.
never those are people are never innocent.
They're not responsible for anything at all. No QA, no approvals, no regulatory stuff, nothing. He's totally fine. And
Yeah,
then Speckles is he's in trouble, but he just has to like recall all of the
yeah. Fix all the
appliances.
recalled appliances, and then he's going to go back to working for the G-Force.
Right? Like it's ridiculous.
Yeah,
They
and
should have
that's the movie.
put him in little mole jail.
That's the movie.
That's it. That's it. So, like I said, like I really think it starts very, very strong. The opening of the movie is really good. It's funny. It's enjoyable. The middle part of the movie gets very dark. I think the word morbid you use is really a good word for it. And then it just jumps the shark
Yeah,
and ends very like everybody loves each other and we're fine. Just fix the computers.
right.
No harm. Don't worry about it. I mean, even if somehow everyone survived, let's say just for a moment that nobody was killed, nobody was even injured, it's still billions of dollars in damages. Billions.
For sure.
And nobody's really in trouble for it.
No, nobody cares.
Nobody cares.
It's a mole that's responsible for it.
So that's the
Okay.
movie.
Yeah, it's the movie. So usually at this point we go and read some user reviews on IMDb just to kind of get an idea, if we're, outliers or if the majority agree with us. So do you think I should start with 1-star reviews or 10-star reviews on this one, Derek?
We're going to start with the 1-star reviews.
1-star reviews. There are 13 1-star written reviews. This one, 46 people found helpful and 59 people gave it a thumbs down. One word, awful. Don't bother seeing this movie, especially not with the kids. In the show that I saw, there were a total of 10 of us in the theater, which could accommodate about 150. There were 4 kids. I pity the parents of the kids who had to pay to get the kids there. Total waste of time. Possibly the worst movie I have sat through. Was this supposed to be a comedy or an action movie or an action comedy movie? I don't know where it was going to, anyways. Just a jumble of ideas. I guess there were too many cooks, and boy, did they spoil the broth. To be honest, there were a couple of funny moments in the movie. Okay, more like chuckle moments, but nothing worth even a penny. I went to this movie because I saw Jerry Bruckheimer. Wrong reason. Yeah, if you were going there expecting a Jerry Bruckheimer movie, then yeah, I mean, I can understand the disappointment there. Let's see. So bad it hurts. And a strong year for kids movies so far with Monsters vs. Aliens, Up, Coraline, and many more. G-Force stands out. This is not a good thing. G-Force stands out as our first film of the year that will be unbearable to kids and adults alike. I saw this in 3D, but I technically didn't see this in 3D because there really isn't 3D. The one or two moments of 3D don't do anything special in the first place. The story is four guinea pigs with the help of they're trained superheroes out to stop the evil Saber with the help of their human hand Ben and government agent Kip Killian. The voice actors and live actors alike are throwing away their career on this bomb. Sam
Wow.
Rockwell, who has been building his career for the past 5 years, now has to spend another 5 years getting his career back. Nicolas Cage, a big star who's been working in Hollywood for 20 years, needs 20 more years to get his respect back. Steve Buscemi, a forgotten actor, is reminding people he exists by wasting his once recognized career. Penelope Cruz, fresh from her Oscar for Vicky Cristina Barcelona, is going back to being in movies that will only make money and is losing her respect for it. Bill Nighy, a now respected actor, is throwing away his career just as it started. Zach Galifianakis is starting to become a well-known actor, starting with The Hangover. Now he threw his respect out the window. Will Arnett,
Wait,
respected
wait,
for
wait,
his
wait,
work in
wait.
Arrested Development. No. Will Arnett, respected for his work in Arrested Development and his work with Amy Poehler, is throwing his respect out the window as well. I hated this movie. Skip it.
Yes, because we forget it. I just can't forget it.
No, go ahead, Derek. Say what you want to say.
Galifianakis, like he was like some dramatic actor who was
Yeah,
like
it's true.
up for Oscars and stuff, and he's doing this lowly kids movie. Like, do people not know like what a kids movie is?
It seems like they don't.
Like, I
Um,
was reading about this, like it got panned by critics. I'm like, it's not for a 40-year-old; it's for their 8-year-old kid.
right. I'm gonna do one more 1 out of 10 here. This one says worth my price of admission. After seeing another excellent movie, I decided to do a little illicit theater hopping and moved over to see G-Force. It was worth just what I paid to get in, which, if you haven't caught on, is $0.
Jesus.
I would list the plot holes, inanities, and just plain stupid parts, but this review is limited to 1,000 words. However, some of the more memorable, sadly, yes, the funny scenes are in the trailer. Why do the G-Force team members still talk after the translators have been taken? What, another sighting of the evil FBI guy? Flatulence. Enough already. Super secret lab in a warehouse. Where have I seen that before? Unfortunately, I can't give anything lower to than 1 star to this waste of time. So there you go. 1 star reviews. Um,
Look, I just gotta say, if you're an adult and you saw the poster for this movie and you knew, oh, this is about guinea pigs, and you're like, man, this was really immature. I just don't know how to help you.
well, you're gonna like the 10-star reviews on here, Derek.
Okay.
This one is from DK52874. The title is This is an excellent movie. Why didn't it receive an Oscar? This is the most enticing film I have ever watched. A true
Oh my God.
masterpiece displaying the true artistic integrity of film. The underlying themes of a monotheistic society exploring the themes of Christianity and the teachings of the Lord. A true masterpiece that really is a work of art and one of the most fabulous films I have ever witnessed. Nicolas Cage has a masterful performance as Speckles and should have won Best Supporting Actor. This film is groundbreaking in a way of unconventional storytelling. I love this movie. It cured my depression. Thank you, Hoyt Yeatman. Beautiful film, 10 out of 10.
Okay. I
Um,
think they might be kidding.
This one says from Neslosaurus, it cured my crippling depression. This movie was blessing sent by God himself. Very cute
All
and
right.
funny characters, which made me forget my endless pain of living. I even found myself falling in love with the character. It will be hard to control my urges today, but the power of God will guide me through. Have a blessed evening. Now, which character do you think it was that they fell for, Derek?
Obviously, Speckles. These are
Yeah,
people who are in the One True God subreddit.
probably.
Okay.
Yeah. Here's one that I think is more real review. I thought this film was great. I don't understand why it didn't get a higher score. The storyline was fast paced, the animation effects superb, and the guinea pigs were generally funny. I thought the cast really made the characters come alive. I would definitely recommend this for families and children. the people giving it a bad review are not those whom it was made for. It was simply just a fun action film for kids. It's not trying to be a Tarantino masterpiece. Disney did a great job on making another great flick for the family. The PlayStation game is great too. Okay, Derek, I expect you to hunt down the GeForce PlayStation game now.
There's a game. I didn't know there was a
Derek is
game.
the vintage game collector in the house, so we gotta have him do a separate review. I wonder if Nick Cage voices the character in that game too.
It's on sale on Steam right now for $6.99.
There you go. So that's where we're at. Usually at this point, we give our own scores. If you want to explain how that goes.
For the record, the game is overwhelmingly positive on Steam.
Nice.
So there you go. Yeah, so our Cage-O-meter, for those who are just joining us, welcome. Thanks for checking us out. We have a 20-point scale. 1 is low, 20 is high, and we score on overall quality and overall caginess. He's been in a lot of stuff, our Nicolas Cage, and we want to be able to kind of spread things out a little bit, not have everything overlapping. So that's why it's a 20-point scale instead of a 10-point scale. So just keep that in mind. Um, yeah, so quality. Let's talk quality. This is a kids movie. I think it's important to look at it through that lens and knowing who it was made for. I think, like we said earlier, visual effects are pretty good,
Yeah.
particularly for 2009. I thought it was mostly funny throughout. It clearly goes off the rails, but it is a fun, enjoyable film. It's no slog or anything like that. I think they did a pretty good job. So nothing like incredible, but I'm going to give it a 13.
Where did we put Ant Bully? Can you pull that up
Ant
for me?
Bully. The Ant Bully was a little while ago. There it is. We each gave it a 6.
Yeah, okay.
So I'm giving this a 13 on quality.
Well, 13 is a bit high for me. I think it's like it's entertaining, but in terms of it like movie quality, it's not that much better than like the average Nick Cage movie. So I'm at like an 11 for it. I think it's way better than the Ant Bully. Um,
So
I
the
couldn't
the
imagine
reason
that we gave it. I was worried that we gave the Ant Bully like a 10 or something, but
no, no, Ant Bully, that's a weird ass movie. I gave it a 13 because that's what I gave Honeymoon in Vegas, and I would put these on the same level.
yeah, okay.
That's all. You know, the
I,
flying
I mean, you
Elvises and
like these movies more than I do. These type of animated and like kids movies more than I do. So it lines up. It makes sense.
fair enough.
I would
So
rather watch Honeymoon in Vegas than this, but
I mean, I think they're both kind of. I think they're very similar in the overall feel of the movie, frankly, and they both go
fair
off
enough.
the rails at the end. Um,
Fair enough.
but now we have caginess. Now this one's a little tricky. He's a sizable enough role to give him a score, but he is a mole and he does have the crazy affectation that he's put on, the Gumby voice from Peggy Sue Got Married, which automatically bumps things up a bit for me anyway. But Ryan, what are you thinking for caginess?
I mean, there's a couple moments. I remember there being one close to the beginning where it's like a really cagey feeling moment, but it's not a lot other than the voice. There's not a lot of real caginess.
Hmm.
So I was thinking like a 10 or 11 maybe, just
Okay.
based mostly on the voice.
So we're not
Where are
we're
you
not
at?
far off. I was gonna do a 12.
Okay.
So we're not like far off. Do you want to do an 11 or do you want to do a 10?
I'm gonna do a 10.
You're gonna do 10. Okay.
Yeah.
So that gives us a quality of 12 and a caginess of 11, which is just enough to put it into the high quadrant of the map in good company. For the
Yeah.
most part, actually. If you look at the Cage-O-meter, which if you go to comingupcage.com, you can see our interactive Cage-O-meter. It does lag a little behind the show because we want you to listen or watch the show, of course. But the quadrant, so high quality, high KG, are pretty much all good movies worth a watch. Right, you've got big stuff in there like Leaving Las Vegas, for example, and you've got The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, and now of course you've got G-Force.
G-Force. Yeah.
You, of course, have high quality, low caginess, which is also a pretty good quadrant. You've got Pig in that one, for example. You've got Adaptation and Joe are both in there as well as some others. Then
What
you
did you
have,
think of this one versus Crudes, Derek? We didn't mention that at all?
no, we didn't mention Crudes. Let's see, the Crudes. I don't remember what we gave the Crudes. There we go. We did not like the Crudes.
No,
You
we did
gave
not.
it a 4 and I gave it a 7. So it came out with 5.5, just below the Ant Bully. It's it's better than the Ant Bully, I think, but at least it's less disturbing than the Ant Bully.
Well,
Maybe that's what I'm thinking. This is better than that for
yeah, I
sure.
agree.
You
I
know,
didn't fall asleep at the end of this one, so that's automatically
that's a
a few points
bonus.
in the right direction. Yeah.
That's a bonus. The last two quadrants are high caginess, low quality, so those can be really fun and outrageous, like Vampire's Kiss, Prisoners of the Ghostland. And then you have the low quality, low kg stuff, which is probably the movies that if you're not like a die-hard big fan, maybe you leave those for last. The movies like Rage, Inconceivables, those types of things. The Christmas Story, Christmas
Yeah.
Carol, whatever it is, Christmas Carol. Um, anyway, so that's where it landed there. So we got a 12 on quality, 11 on caginess. Check out our cageometer at comingofcage.com. Next up on the list here is we now have to update our Wheel O Cage. So every other week when we're going to do an episode, we spin our Wheel O Cage. It tells us which Nicolas Cage movie we're going to watch next on the show, but it doesn't have every movie on it. So when we watch something, that movie comes off the wheel, something else has to join the wheel. We are down to just 7 movies that have never been on the wheel. Just 7. I'm not going to list them all off, but it does include The Rock and The Crude's A New Age. So replacing G-Force and joining the Wheel O Cage, becoming eligible to be selected, is Birdie, one of
Nice.
his earlier flicks. I recently picked that up on Laserdisc, so I have a way to watch it. So Birdie is now eligible to be picked. To find out which Nicolas Cage movie we're going to talk about next time on the show, check out our Wheel O Cage spin by going to comingofcage.com or following us at Coming of Cage on all of the various social media apps. We post that and our Cage-O Bingo series to all of those things. We're all over the place, so you can go check that stuff out there. Cage-O Bingo, of course, if you don't know, is our custom Nicolas Cage themed bingo that we play while we watch every movie. Ryan and I get a different randomly generated card of Nicolas Cage movie tropes or common occurrences,
Yep.
and we play. So to find out if either of us got a bingo on this one, be sure to catch out the latest episode of Cage-O Bingo. Ryan, anything else for G-Force?
No, I think we pretty much covered everything and then some.
All right. Well, then that's it for us. Thank you so much for listening and or watching. Go to comingofcage.com for all of our links. You can watch us on the Derrico Studios YouTube channel. I'm Derek, and that is Ryan.
And we'll see you next time.